Welcome back everyone, I'm Kate Plays Games, this is EVE Online, and today we're going to ask and answer one simple question. Can a brand new character complete the Sisters of Eve Epic Arc on the very first day in the game? You see before you a brand new character who has run the introductory tutorial and all 5 career agents. That is why their speech bubbles on the right hand side have turned round, because they cannot be used anymore because I've finished them all. On the top right, this is all the ships that they gave me, including this lovely destroyer, which I am sitting in right now. On the bottom right is all the loot that they gave me as rewards, or I found as loot in the wrecks, or I got from the Air Career program, which we will talk about soon. What do we need to do to complete the Epic Arc? There's 54 missions, there's an awful lot of warping, and the only difficult missions, well for me anyway, are the 2 final bosses. They are called Kristan Parthus and Dagan, and I have their stats. This is Kristan Parthus. He is a battle cruiser. He's a big slow target. He's not particularly difficult. He doesn't hit all that hard. He's not all that difficult to kill, but he does have a special ability, which is an energy neutralizer. This has a range of 25 kilometers and it drains all the capacitor from your ship. And the capacitor is what you need to do things like run armor or shield repairers, fire lasers and hybrid weapons and afterburners and things like that. So usually if you get completely capped out, bad things happen to you. But I think we're going to get around that. There are 2 ways of getting around this. A, we can build a fit which doesn't care about capacitor, or we can fight outside 25 kilometers. I'll discuss more about that when I'm showing you the fit. And the other final boss is Dagan. He is also a battle cruiser. He doesn't hit particularly hard. He doesn't have any real special abilities other than a target painter, which makes your ship appear to be larger, so it takes a little bit more damage from all sources. But if you're in a small ship, you can fly fast enough to evade his guns anyway. The main problem with this guy is his massive resistances. If you're shooting nothing but EMP, which is the blue damage type, you will need 150 DPS to break through that 85% resistance. If you're only shooting explosive, which is the yellow one, you only need something like 130 DPS to punch through the 73.75. So hopefully we'll be able to fire explosive and get over 150 DPS, best of both worlds. And before we have a look at the fit, let's talk about skills. We have basically no skills. We're a brand new character. We're 1 day in the game. Now skills at EVE Online, as we see, they all have minutes and hours next to them. This is how long it will take us to passively train in the training queue to the next level. So signature analysis to get to level 3 will require 7 hours and 19 minutes of real-time training. Long range targeting requires 14 hours and 39 minutes to get to level 3. They both need to go to level 3, so why is one of them 7 hours and the other one 14? Well, if we show info on them, have a look at the attributes. Signature analysis is a training time multiplier of 1, so this is like the fastest skills in the game. Long range targeting is a training time multiplier 2. That's why it's twice as long as signature analysis. So different skills take different times to train, and each level of a skill will take exponentially longer time. For instance, signature analysis level 1 would take about 25 minutes, level 2 would take a couple of hours, level 3 is going to take 7, level 4 will probably take 2 or 3 days, and level 5 will take about a week. And then obviously you multiply that by each skill's training time. And skills train in the training queue sequentially. So if I was to put gunnery, motion production and rapid firing in the queue, they would not all run at the same time. It would do gunnery first for 10 days, and then motion production for 14 hours, and then rapid firing for 4 days. But you can speed up your training in a couple of ways. You can get cerebral accelerators, which cost an awful lot of money, and they speed up the passive training, but only by a little bit, and that's not good enough. We need instant training, and you can do that by getting unallocated skill points. If you have a look in the opportunities UI and click daily goals, here you are presented every day with 5 tasks. If you do 2 of them, you are rewarded with 10,000 skill points, which you can then allocate to any skill you wish. They're semi-randomized. This complete 3 jumps one is always available every day, and then the others kind of rotate. There's manufacturing items, scan 5 signatures, mine 2,000, or earn 50 loyalty points. I mean, they're not difficult things to do. It's very difficult actually to not complete 2 of these every day if you just undock and play the game a little bit. So when I was doing the career agents, I did of course do 2 of these, and we got 10,000 skill points. And another source of unallocated skill points is this UI, the Air Career Program. This is split into 4 careers, pretty much following what all the 5 career agents do. There's 2 industrialist career agents. I'll just show you what you do here. You just browse, click on this, complete mission 1 out of 1 for the career agent. You get paid 25,000 money and 10 career points. Mission 2, more career points, and then onwards and onwards, more career points for doing that. Every task will reward you with money and career points, and sometimes modules and skill books. So just by completing all the tasks for all the career agents, I have earned an awful lot of career points. What do you do with them? Well, if you mouse over this bar at the bottom and wait for it to appear, as you see, when you hit certain thresholds of career points, which is CP, you earn bonus skill points. So I have 915 overall career points, and that pushed me over this 750 career point threshold, so I got 50,000 skill points. Now the reward in gold is for the fully paid Omega status account. I'm just playing this as a free-to-play player, so I only got 50,000 skill points. So if we add that 50,000 to the 10 I got from doing the daily goals, that gives me 60,000 skill points. And I had to think very hard about where to spend these skill points, because I wasn't going to have enough time to actually train anything manually. I just had to do all my training with these unallocated skill points. And if we go to the character sheet UI and the history tab and then skills, this is what I did. Shield Operation 1 is saying skill training complete. That tells you that I did actually complete that one passively as I was doing the career agents. If you right click show info and click required for, I trained this to level 1 because I was thinking I was going to use a small shield booster on my fit. Ended up not doing that, so I kind of wasted that skill. But the skills I did want and did apply these skill points to: Surgical Strike levels 1 and 2, because this gives you a 3% bonus to the damage of all weapon turrets, which is great. Small Projectile Turret levels 1, 2 and 3, for a 15% bonus in total to small projectile turret damage, which is great because we need 150 DPS. Rapid Firing to level 3, which is a 12% bonus to turret rate of fire. Obviously that's more damage. Minmatar Frigate levels 1, 2 and 3, because when we click on the required for tab and click level 3, we need that to open the Minmatar Destroyer book, and you need Minmatar Destroyer at level 1 to fly the destroyer, which the Soldier of Fortune agent gives you. And I did Energy Grid upgrades at level 2 because it is required for cap-free chargers, reactor controls, power diagnostics, all good things like that, which are very helpful in building fits. And I took Minmatar Destroyer to level 3. If we right click on the ship and show info and go to overview, per level of the Minmatar Destroyer skill, we get 5% bonus to damage and 10% bonus to tracking speed, that's accuracy. So that's why I took that skill to level 3. Most other races' destroyers do not get damage per level, it's just range and tracking, which are good things to have, but it won't help if you can't actually get above 150 DPS to kill the boss. So that's why I took that to level 3, just to get 15% more damage. Now that's all the skills taken care of, so let's talk about the fit itself. Here it is, let's simulate it. In the high slots, I have 7 250mm light prototype siege cannon. If we show info on these and go to the attributes tab and scroll to find the meta level. Meta level is a numeric guide as to the quality of the item, with Tech 1 items ranging from meta level 0 to meta level 4. Meta level 5 is Tech 2 items which require weeks of training to unlock. And meta levels 6 to 18 is all your fancy dancy stuff like faction and Dead Space and officer and storyline and all that stuff, and they will cost hundreds of millions per unit. So I did not buy these. So I've gone for the meta level 3 prototype siege cannons. If you view market details, these are like 650,000 each, which is quite expensive. The meta level 4 version, if you click the variants, is the Scout Artillery. And the Scout Artillery, there's barely any of them here, and they're like 800,000, so I didn't want to spend 800,000 times 7. 600,000 times 7 was bad enough. So we've got some meta level 3 weapons on this thing. For speed, I've gone for a 1 meganewton Afterburner, which propels us at 565 meters a second just to bring the weapons into range. For defense, I have done a medium shield extender 1. When we show info on it and go to attributes, this adds raw hit points, 800 hit points to the shield. So if we turn it off, we have 966 shield hit points, and when we turn it on, we have 1932. This gives us a great deal of buffer, so the enemy have got to chew through the shield before they get to the armour and the hull. But the good thing about shields is that they automatically regenerate themselves. And it is this time here. So this ship will go from 0 hit points on the shield to 966 over the course of 593 seconds. When you do the math, that works out as a passive regeneration rate of 4 hit points a second. But when we turn the medium shield extender back on, the hit points a second has gone up to 8. Why is that? Well, that's because we've increased the maximum hit points, but we have not changed the time. So now it goes from 0 to 1932 over the same 593 seconds. So we're getting 8 hit points a second, so that's quite good. Also, to aid the tank on the rig slots, I have put a field extender, which again adds more hit points and more regeneration rate. And to help the resistances, a thermal and an EM shield reinforcer to push those up a little tiny bit. That should be more than enough tank. And I have an enduring tracking computer with an optimal range script just to push the range of the guns out. And to help the guns, we have 2 Gyrostabilizers. Each of these is increasing the rate of fire by 9.5% and increasing the damage modifier by 1.08, but they're not both doing that. The first one will get 100% of these bonuses. The second one, due to the stacking penalty mechanic of the game, will only be getting 87%, but 87% of 9.5 is still over 9, and 87% of 1.08 is like 1.06, so 2 is fine, and we needed to get as much damage on this ship as we could. Ammunition wise, projectile ammunition comes in many different flavours and types. There are 3 short range high damage ammunitions, that is EMPS, range bonus minus 50, and this does EMP and kinetic and explosive, but mainly EMP as the name would suggest. There is fusion, minus 50% range, does mostly explosive, a little bit of kinetic, but adds up to 12, the same as EMP does, 9 plus 1 plus 2 being 12. And the other short range high damage ammo is phase plasma, minus 50% range. This does thermal and kinetic, adding up to 12. So they all do the same amount of damage, just various damage types, and you match that to the enemy you're fighting. And then there are 3 long-range ammunitions, which are Nuclear S, 60% range bonus instead of a minus 50%, we're now plus 60%, but it only does 5 damage. A mixture of explosive and kinetic in this case. There is Proton, 60% range, EMP and kinetic. And there's Carbonized Lead, 60% range, does 5 damage, mostly kinetic, a little bit of explosive. And finally, there are 2 middle-of-the-road ammunitions. There is Titanium Sabot, range bonus 0, does 8 damage, kinetic and explosive. And there's Depleted Uranium, range 0, but it does thermal and kinetic and explosive, adds up to 8. And one good thing about these 0% range bonus ammunitions is that they actually give you a 20% faster tracking speed, so that makes you more accurate with them. See, the Proton S, the long range ones are 1.05, so it's 5% more. Phase plasma, just normal tracking. So for the majority of the arc, I'm going to be using the Depleted Uranium S, which does thermal and kinetic and explosive, increases the tracking, gives us good range. With the tracking computer with the optimal range script and my mouse over the guns, they reach between 17 and 29 kilometers, which is good because our targeting range is only 29.7. So pretty much as soon as we can target lock things, we can hit them with this ammo. That'll give us, from all 7 guns, 92.7 DPS. That's going to be more than good enough. But for the bosses, we have decisions to make. And the decision I made for Dagan, I bought some very expensive Republic Fleet Fusion. Now, Fusion is the short-range high-damage ammo, and if we compare Dagan's statistics to the damage of this ammunition, you'll see that his explosive resistance is his weakest, so I'm firing mostly explosive, and kinetic is the second weakest, and I'm firing a little bit of that. So fusion is most definitely the correct ammo type to use against this guy. But normal Tech 1 fusion, if we drag it in, only has 139.1 DPS. And I did say that 130 is just about enough if you're only firing explosive, but I really wanted to go over 150. So I spent a decent amount of money on some fancy Republic Fleet fusion, and that pushes the DPS all the way up to 160. Republic Fleet fusion is the same as fusion, but it just gets a direct 15% increase in its damage. That's why it's like 2.3 and 11.5, just because it's 15% more, and that gives us over 150. So that's good enough to kill the final boss. But now let's talk about Kristan Parthus. As I said, this guy has an energy neutralizer, which works at 25 kilometers. We could look at using Proton, which is EM and kinetic, and if we look at his stats, his armor and shield are both 30 only to EM, so firing EM is good. This is the long range ammo. Yes, it goes out to way beyond our targeting range, and crucially way beyond his 25 kilometer engagement range with his energy drain. So we could fit some Proton, but we're only doing 58 DPS, so that might not be enough to kill him. But do we even have to care about his energy drain on this ship? The shield is unaffected. The shield will automatically regenerate no matter what. Projectile weapons do not have any capacitor needs, so the guns will keep firing. The only thing he will turn off is the tracking computer, which we don't really care about, and the Afterburner, which again isn't a huge issue. We're a relatively small and relatively fast target at 300 meters a second. So even if he drains all of our capacitor, the shield is fully passive and the guns don't need capacitor, and neither do our low slot Gyrostabilizers, so we can fight inside his 25 kilometer range and still be completely fine. So for that reason, I've got some Tech 1 EMPS ammunition. Drag that in, that gives us 139 DPS, so that should kill him pretty quick. Even if the tracking computer gets turned off, optimal range 7.6 kilometers, fall off 17, so we'll just orbit him at like 7.5, maybe 8 kilometers, and just hit him in the face with 139 and laugh at his pathetic attempts to turn off all the modules on our ship. Two other things I'm going to talk about are these rewards that I got from the Air Career program. This one is a combat booster. It gives us plus 5% maximum velocity for only 30 minutes. So if we need to go faster for whatever reason, I can right click that and consume it. And we also have these expert systems. Let's show info on these. Expert systems are essentially skill rentals. These ones last for 3 days, and they give you all these skills at all these skill levels. Grey dots means a skill we do not have yet. Grey squares is a skill we have but have not trained. White squares are skill levels we have already trained. So this would give us acceleration control 1, connections 2, missile bombardment 3, yada yada yada, and the good ones for us are down at the bottom. Things like trajectory analysis, which gives us more range, surgical strikes, more damage, shield operation, shield management, or more shield capacity and faster shield regen. That would really help our tank. Motion prediction is accuracy and all that good stuff. So that would really help us. And as we see at the top, this will give us 49 days, 21 hours, 11 minutes and 2 seconds worth of skills. That is how long it would take this character to train all these skills to all these skill levels. But we get them for free for 3 days. And the other one is the Soldier of Fortune expert system. Again, very similar to the first one. It lasts for 3 days, gives you all these skills. They're pretty similar. So this would give us more tank and more damage if we needed it. So I'm going to take them with us just in case we need them. I don't think we will. Anyway, that's enough chatting. Let's actually start the Epic Arc. You do that by going to the Agency, Agents and Missions, Epic Arcs, and this is the only one which is available. The rest are locked behind standings, and we'll talk about standings in a moment, so we'll just set destination there. And I'll go and speak to that agent and start the Epic Arc. Why are we doing the Epic Arc in the first place? A, it pays you 15 million ISK if you have a look at our wallet and the overview. Over the course of doing the 5 career agents and selling some of the loot, I have had an income of 18 million. I've spent 13 of it on various modules and building this fit. We've got 4 million ISK. It would be nice because you get about 15 million from doing the arc, plus whatever loot you pick up along the way. So that'll give us a decent amount of money, and it's going to give us standings. If you go to the character sheet, interactions, standings, this is what missions are locked behind, is a standings mechanic. At the minute, we have access to level 1 agents for every corporation which belong to the Minmatar Republic faction. If we mouse over the top here, you see that level 2 agents become available at 1.0 standings. We have 0.73, we're pretty close. We got all these standings boosts by finishing the 5 career agents, that's each step here. So when we do the Epic Arc, we will get a great big whack to one faction which you choose at the end, and I'm obviously going to choose Minmatar Republic, and that will open up level 2 missions. If you show info on the Minmatar Republic and click Member Corps, that will open every level 2 agent for all of these NPC corporations which belong to Minmatar Republic, which is fantastic. Now, why do Amar Empire not like me? And what is this derived modification all about? Well, if you go back to Minmatar Republic and click on standings, you'll see that the Minmatar Republic have a -5 standing with Amar Empire, and Amar Empire have -5 standing with Minmatar. They hate each other. So every time Minmatar goes up, Amar Empire goes down. But Galactic Federation goes up every time Minmatar Republic goes up, because if we find them on this list, they like each other 5.0 and 5.0. That's why Galente is plus 0.37 and Amar is minus 0.37. I don't think the Caldari State care about us either way. I'm not seeing them on the list. Caldari State, yeah, 0.0, 0.0. So when you increase or decrease Minmatar Republic, nothing will happen with Caldari State. Now, the good thing about the Sisters of Eve Epic Arc is that the massive uptick in standings it provides you comes with a special rule which makes it immune to derived losses, so we will not lose a big whack of standings with Amar. Neither will we gain a big whack of standings with Galente. It's purely only for Minmatar Republic. So that's why we're doing it. A, because it's fun. B, because it gives us money. C, for standings. And D, if you look at the Air Career program again, we're going to be passively doing lots of stuff like these Epic Arc ones. We're going to complete the Epic Arc. So we're going to do 5 career points, another 10, another 15, another 20, another 50. We're going to do these passively. We're probably going to be earning bounties from the people we kill, so that's going to be great. And navigation, probably. Make 50 Stargate jumps, make 100 jumps, we'll probably do those as well. So we're going to be passively earning career points. Maybe possibly push us over the threshold to getting 75,000 more skill points before the end. We'll see how that goes. That's another reason you want to do the Epic Arc. Anyway, I'm actually going to go and start it. I don't think I'm going to show you very much of this. I'm probably, hopefully, just going to jump cut straight to the end of it and show you the 2 bosses. There are 2 missions that are worth talking about. One of them requires that you have 150 cubic meters of space in your cargo. We have 400, so that's not going to be an issue. And one of them will force you to fit a civilian relic analyzer in one of your mid-power slots. I will just remove the tracking computer or the afterburner and stick it in there, kill everything at long range, and then slow boat in and hack the thing. Other than that, it's just the 2 bosses. So hopefully next time you see me, I'll be saying, here we are, ready to kill Kristan Parthus. Wish me luck, and away I go. You join me in my escape pod because our brand new destroyer just got destroyed. I am doing the burning down the hive mission, and this mission has between 0 and what looks like 3 strain renders, and they have warp jammers and webs. These warp jammed me. I got absolutely swarmed by all the drones in the mission, and I've lost my ship, so I'm going to have to go and buy another ship. I hope I've got enough money. I have 11 million. It should be enough. Let's have a look at the Air Career program during doing the Sisters of Eve Epic Arc. As I said, we are going to get lots of stuff, so let's just claim all this. This will give us even more money. Not too much, but it should be enough to go and buy another ship. What I did here is, because I'm a little bit smart, just before I died, I ejected the very expensive ammunition. So we'll be able to pick that up when we come back. Let's see what else dropped in the wreck. Some stuff, not an awful lot. So yeah, looks like we lost one of our expert systems as well. If we go to character sheet, interactions, combat log, and show losses, Here we go. This is what we lost. Everything in green dropped as loot in the wreck. This medium shield, that's good. A couple of guns. Everything else got destroyed, which isn't great. So I'm going to go and have to buy another ship and try this mission again. Having 3 strain renders is extremely rare. This never usually happens in this mission. I was even trying to be smart, because we spawn in at that beacon and we have to go through this gate, and as we see, all the strains are down here. So I double clicked towards this end of the gate to try and sneak past them, but they instantly got right on top of me, triple webbed, warp jammed, couldn't get out. They were orbiting me at like 1,000 meters and my guns cannot track, and because I was triple webbed, I couldn't move to use keep at range to keep myself lined up, and we lost our ship. So can we do the Sisters of Eve Epic Arc? Not at the first attempt, no. I'll go and buy another ship and we'll continue. God damn it. Right, after a very quick trip to the nearest trading hub, we're back with another new ship. It cost about 5.5 million to put this thing back together. We do only have another 6 million in the bank, so we can afford to die another one time, maybe. I could have bought a slightly better shield extender. This one we have adds 800 hit points. The Restrained adds 900, as do the Compact, but the Restrained and Compact are 3 or 4 million each, and no, can't afford that. Unbelievable that we actually had 3 strains in this mission. That never happens. But that's RNG for you. There they are, the 3 evil little swines. There's my cargo can. We need to pick that up at least. See, all the strains are down at the bottom. Let's try going this way. This is what I tried to do, was to try and sneak around behind this rock, because this entire blue ring outside the acceleration gate is the distance at which you can activate the gate to get to the next room. So just try and come in this way, but somehow these guys all aggressed me from like wherever they are and warp jammed, webbed, and blew me up. So this time I'm just going to clear house. I did very quickly realise that I wasn't going to be able to kill the strains because they've got pretty high resistances. Well, higher, and they're small and fast. And the fact that they web and hold you in place. So I'm just going to get rid of all the other drones because they're the ones that are putting the DPS on us. Go and get my expensive ammunition from this cargo can. And grab everything else that's in my wreck. Give me my faction ammo. Thank you. It was smart to jettison that from the wreck. We'll just take everything and get through the gate. See, this is what I tried to do first time and it didn't work. Oh, see that? As soon as we activated the gate, they instantly aggressed and warp jammed me. So we cannot take the gate because we're warp jammed. And now we've got to hope that we can kill them before they get into range to web us, which will slow us down. Which will mean they'll get under our guns and we'll be back in the same position we were before. Where I can't turn fast enough to kill them. Here's the web. We're no longer warp jammed. So I'm just going to take the gate.
Warp drive active.
Unbelievable, man. 3 in that mission is way too many. 1 is bad enough. That's RNG for you, I suppose. Right, I'll carry on with the Epic Arc. And again, hopefully next time I see you, it'll be at Kristan Parthus. This is all the stuff we got out of the wreck. We still got our overclocker, got one of the expert systems. We got some of the modules, which you can probably sell. What are these worth? 44,000 in this region. What are these worth here? 4,000. Yeah, in this crappy region. I'll try and find a good price for all this stuff and sell it to recoup some of our losses. Honestly, man, EVE Online really kicks you in the balls sometimes. Alright, and a few hours have passed, and here we are, ready to kill Kristan Parthus. I did not die again, so that was great. Same ship we had before, exactly the same fit. Cash-wise, we're on 12.8 million, so I can afford to die another twice if we need to. We have apparently 5 gifts in the Air Career program, so we'll just redeem those as well. Where are we now? We're on 1,295 overall career points. Now, we only need to get to 1,500 to get another 75,000 unallocated skill points, which we can then put into various skills to make our shield better, or to do more damage, or to be more agile, or to get more range, or more accuracy, or more cap, or anything else we want. So that is what, 205 we need. Now, what I could have done all the way through this epic arc, I could have taken the time to go into combat sites, which you find in Agency, Exploration, Combat Anomalies. Things like these Serpentis hideaways, not the Class 3 and Class 1 Bio-Cybernetic Incident. These are part of an ongoing event, the Crimson Harvest event. I would not be doing that. Hideaways, refuges, Crimson Gauntlet again is part of the event, so don't do those. Burrow, I wouldn't try dens. Dens in a destroyer would be a bad time. And then in Enforcer, there's a combat sites task, which is complete 25 combat sites. So there's 10 career points and 25, that's 35, plus another 50, there's another 85 right there. And because you're killing things in combat sites, we have already earned $1 million Iskin bounty. Getting another 3.8 million might be a little bit difficult. But there should be combat, yes. Destroy 300 enemy ships. We've killed 223 enemies on this character so far. Destroy 250, that's another 40 career points. Destroy 300, there's another 50, so that's another 90 lying there. So if I had just hit combat sites as I was doing this epic arc, we very probably would have another 75,000 skill points. So yeah, if you want to do that when you're doing this kind of thing, feel free. I didn't bother because I kind of thought I knew what I was doing until I died. But anyway, we're not going to die because we're about to fight Kristan Parthus, so let's accept and just do this mission. And apparently we've got a booster. This is capacitor recharge time. Who cares about that? We don't need cap. Not on this ship.
Warp drive active.
Still can't believe there was 3 strain drones in that mission. I've looked up the mission whilst I was doing the arc, and you're supposed to have between 0 and 2, and for some reason we had 3, and they were just instantly aggressed. You saw what happened as soon as I even looked at the gate. They instantly aggressed and got a warp jam and web on me. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm warping in at the normal range with my depleted uranium all-purpose ammo, and we're just going to keep Kristan Parthus at 27 kilometers just to pull range on everything, because I want to just take out all of his attendants before we start working on the boss. These guys will just disappear. After you kill all of his attendants, there is another wave of attendants, but they're not very difficult to kill. There's the energy drain coming in, but we don't really care about that. The only things that's actually used capacitor are our Afterburner and tracking computer, and those are not a major concern. Okay, let's keep these guys at range. Okay, we're getting tracking disruption. That will not just affect our tracking, it will also approach our range. So we're going to keep them at range at 20. So just right click, keep it range, select them from the drop down list. Pretty much the only damage we're taking is the missiles that these little dudes are firing. You just see every time we get hit we lose a little bit more. Once we get rid of these guys we'll be fine. Right, just one more to go. Right click, keep it range, 20 kilometers. Then we'll reload to EMP and get nice and close with Mr. Parthus. There it goes, they're all dead. I've already set the orbit path at 7.5. I'm just going to reload to EMPS. Yes, I know you're energy neutralizing me. I'm just going to double click somewhere towards them. You don't want to directly approach something because it makes it very easy for it to hit you. Ow. Okay, we're going to have to warp out and come back.
Warp drive active.
And he got a really good hit on us there just as we were closing range on him. Come on. Get up to speed and warp out, stupid ship. Ow. What a douchebag. That is, of course, because he fires EM and thermal, and they're lighter. The EM is by far the weakest resistance we have. We could refit, we could take off the tracking computer and put a multi-spectrum shield hardener on it, just to bump that up a little bit. That would increase the resistances to 46, 57, 55 and 63. Make us a little bit more survivable.
Docking request accepted.
Show you a little trick. Instead of hanging around outside the station waiting for your shields and capacitor to regen, just dock and undock. Because every time you dock and undock, your capacitor and shields are fixed for free instantly. Your armour and shield and hull are not. You have to repair those yourself. There we go, ready to go. Right, let's get back into this mission.
Warp drive active.
Okay, so optimal range with the tracking computer on is 8.5 kilometers, and the fall off is 20 kilometers. So we can start shooting at him at 20k, but I really want to orbit him at 8.5. So I have right clicked the orbit button and set it for 7.5. Nah, that really wants to be 8,000. So we'll just change it to 8,000 like that. There we go. Damn it, where is he? Oh, there he is. Hiding over here. I'll just open fire from here. We'll probably miss quite a lot. Great, we hit him, but we did grazes. This is the weapon hit quality. This is somewhat RNG dependent. A graze or a glance off does less than your listed damage. A hit does pretty much your listed damage. And penetrates and smashes do above your listed damage. Wrecking shots are very rare. They do triple damage. But the hit quality is directly linked to your hit chance. So I'm going to turn off the tracking computer, unload the optimal range script, and then turn it back on so it's getting more tracking. I mean, you'll see how well we're hitting him now. We're just absolutely destroying him. Penetrate, penetrate, penetrate. Oh god, he got a wreck on us. That's why we lost a ton of shield. We're getting smashes and penetrates on him. 400 damage, I mean, gone. Didn't care about him draining our capacitor at all. He has dropped things in his wreck. I'm just going to investigate his wreck. And I'm going to reload to depleted uranium. Because he is a battle cruiser and he can drop some nice medium loots. Now he has teleported himself on board our ship. That happens sometimes. Some missions, the item in question teleports directly on. Hey look, we've got some stuff that's actually worth some money. That's worth 338,000. God damn it. Show me the full tree, you arse. There we go. Right, that goes on our ship. Everything else isn't worth very much. Yeah, kill larger ships, get more stuff. Now he teleported himself on board because at times unscrupulous players will use combat probes to hunt you down, kill Kristan Parthus, steal the body, and then ransom it back to you for money. The developers obviously got sick of this, so some mission items teleport themselves on board, although strangely the final boss does not. He spawns on a cargo container in space, and you have to go and pick him up. It's really inconsistent. I do wish the developers would make their mind up. Do you want to stop people griefing, or do you not? So we'll just hand this guy over, complete mission and request mission, and this is where you get to pick which one of the 4 empires you want a big fat standings boost with. We've talked about this before, so we're going to pick Galente. No, we're not. We're going to pick Minmatar. God damn it, I forgot what character I was on. Right, the Minmatar commander. Let's accept this choice. We have to go here, and we'll get the final mission from this person. And here we are with the final agent. Let's speak to them. Our man Dagan. Again, we have to go and kill Dagan. We'll get paid a decent amount of money. So let's do it.
Warp drive active.
Once again, we're going to go in with our depleted uranium, and we should get the optimal range script back on, turn it on. because he will have attendants as well. It's just 3 frigates that are attending him. We kind of warp in at the end of a big battle and everything dies apart from Dagan and his 3 lieutenants. So we'll take care of the little guys first and then we'll whittle down Mr. Dagan. Here's the battle. Everything will very quickly explode. There we go, everything's exploding. Right, that guy next. Let's go. That is Dagan right there. His escort should not be a problem. That's a special effect that Dagan has. That's his target painter, which makes us appear larger, so we'll take more damage from all sources. Not that it's going to be a huge problem for us. Well, one-shotted that guy, so that's nice. Just one more to go, then we'll have to go up and get up close and personal with Dagan. I'm going to do exactly the same as I did with Kristan. I'm going to turn off the tracking computer, unload it, double click somewhere near Dagan just to close the range. Reload to my very expensive Republic Fleet Fusion ammunition. Okay, we're close enough now, we can just start orbiting him. And as soon as my guns have reloaded, come on guns, we'll just plink away at him. We do have to watch the hit quality. Both the damage we're receiving and the damage we're giving out. I want to see lots of blue hits and penetrates and smashes, and hopefully I'll see Dagan misses you completely or glances off and grazes coming from Dagan. That's what we want to see, because we are smaller and faster than him. He's a big slow battlecruiser. A missed and a graze that I can take. Penetrate, penetrate, penetrate from us. A glance off and a miss from him. This looks pretty good. Looks like we've got the right distance and the correct speed. If I was missing or just getting grazes and hits as opposed to more penetrates, I would just turn my afterburner off or manually click this blue bar to set my own speed, just to slow myself down a little bit to help my own tracking. But then if I started taking too much damage, I would have to put the speed back up. I'm not overly concerned about our shield going down. The shield does not regenerate on a linear, so it's not 8 hit points a second right now. It's 8 hit points a second at about 33% remaining shield. But I don't think Dagan's going to get us anywhere close to that. He's just going down like a sack of potatoes. I mean, Republic Fleet Fusion for the win, I guess. Right, let's go and pick him up, because he is in that cargo can. See, this is the annoying bit. This is like the final boss of the whole arc, and yet they teleport the second boss into your cargo, but they don't do it with this guy. I don't know why. As I said, you either want people to grief in your game or you don't, so it's kind of half and half. But we have him. Let's get out of here.
Warp drive active.
Well, Kristan Parthus made us warp out, but just because he got a wrecking shot and took off like a third of our shield as we approached. But we just warped out, got his shield repaired, came back and then killed him. Dagan was really, really easy because we were fighting mainly explosive damage and we had 160 DPS. So we only really needed like 120, 130, so we had more than we needed and we managed to establish the correct range. And it was easy. Let's complete the mission and request the final mission. Deliver Dagan into the hands of the rogue drone. You get paid $1 million ISK, and this is where you get your massive standings boost from. So let's just do it.
Warp drive active.
No fighting in this mission, so we'll just turn everything off. How many Republic fleet did we actually fire? 112. Okay, I didn't need to buy 2,000. 112 was enough to kill Dagan. How much is this stuff worth where we are? No orders found. Well, that's to be expected. We're not in Minmatar space.
Warp drive active.
I did a little bit of research. We can actually sell this for 337,000 if I go all the way up near Jita in the Caldari state. I'm fairly close. I might do that just to recoup some costs, and I might go and sell all of our Republic Fleet fusion ammunition. Anyway, that's where we need to get to Dagan, so we'll just approach that. There's the big drone that's going to take Dagan away. It looks like I can sell this Republic Fleet Fusion, again, up near Jita, for about 800,000 discs, so I'll go and do that as well. Recoup some of our losses. So that's like over 1 million disc lying right there. Well, that's Dagan gone. Let's go and hand in the mission.
Warp drive active.
Here we go. Speak to the agent and complete mission. There we go. Epic Arc complete. Let's have a look at the air career program. We'll get more stuff from having done that. Where are we on career points wise now? 1345. Yeah, just run a few combat sites, man. You'll easily hit the 1500 threshold. And we got another skill book, so we'll just inject that just to get it off. Let's have a look at our standings. There you go. Boom. Plus 0.649, so we're at plus 1.38 with Minmatar Republic. And this gain of 0.649 can be modified by skills. Again, if you've done the 1500 career points, if you go to the social section, where is it? Here we go. Social. 5% increase per level to NPC, agent, corporation and faction standing increase. So that gives you more standings per mission, and if we'd taken that to level 3, we would have got 15% more than the 0.680. Connections gives you an instant 4% increase to your existing standings. So that just gives you a direct rise to your standings. Social gives you more standings per mission. But huge big uptick there. No one else went down anymore. And we can now do level 2 agents for every single Minmatar corporation. Money wise, 15 million, not quite enough to buy a cruiser. We might be able to buy the hull, but we wouldn't be able to buy the fittings. That's because I died and had to waste 5 million ISK on rebuilding the ship. Bit of a boo-boo there, but I think we got stiffed by having 3 warp jamming and webbing drones in that mission. I mean, that was just evil, man. But we do have in our assets 51 items we can sell. We've got all these ships. If you go to search and then type in category : ship, it will just show you all the ships. So we've got all these ships. Here you go. This one's worth 600,000, that one's worth 700, so we can easily sell all these. I mean, we've got 2 of these haulers which are worth 2 million each, so we can recoup our money that way. It's not a huge issue. So we probably could go straight on to cruisers. Again, if you do the 1500 career points, go to Spaceship Command. We have Minmatar Destroyer at level 3, so that means all we have to do is to buy the Minmatar Cruiser skill book, train it to level 1, and we can get a cruiser on your first day of the game. So can you do the Sisters of Eve Epic Arc on the first day as a Minmatar pilot? Yes, you might die once, but yes you can. That was fun until I died, and then it was fun again because both of the bosses absolutely crumbled. So come back next time and we'll do something different. Until then, do look after yourself, and I'll speak to you again soon.